got this leak on my flat portion of roof that has been leaking for years. And I've been trying to find the leak spot and paint it over to stop it. Well, you might say, well, why don't you just pay a roofer instead of going through all this yourself? Well, I have had roofers, and it stopped for a while and then it comes back. I'm not paying roofers anymore. I'm going to solve this problem on my own. So, first place, I had to learn, it took me years, why is the roof leaking? I find a spot that it looks like that's ripped or open, and I paint over it, and the roof continues to leak. What is going on? Well, it's taken me years to find out, because now I've stopped the roof leak about 95%. It was never a gushing roof leak to begin with, it's just a drip. And I had to cut a hole in the bedroom ceiling so the ceiling wouldn't get wet, and let the water drip into the pan on the floor so I don't ruin the ceiling. I can always patch the ceiling up. But I had to determine, it took me years, why is the roof leaking when I can't find a spot or a cut or a break in the roof where it's leaking. Well, finally found out why the roof is leaking. This roof is about 12 years old. So it's this portion I'm working on is flat, covered with tar paper. And the reason the roof is leaking is because the tar paper has lost its waterproof. It's like a jacket. I've had them. Got a waterproof jacket, it works great. And then after 3 or 4 years, the water starts coming through the waterproof jacket. Well, it's the same thing with this tar paper. The tar paper sits out in the sun, especially here in South Florida, and it loses its ability to resist water. It becomes like a sponge. So the paper gets wet and it slowly acts like a sponge and goes to the leak point underneath the paper. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to find one leak spot where the water is coming through, I'm painting the entire flat roof. I keep up on the roof 3 buckets. One with the paint, empty bucket, and one with water. I pour some paint into the empty bucket, then I put the same amount of water to dilute the paint. And I dilute the paint so it'll run in the cracks better. Instead of painting sitting on the surface, I want the paint to run down in the little cracks in the paint, and it works out pretty good. Plus the paint goes further. Now you can see the area I've already painted. It takes a lot of paint because I'm painting white over black, and it's difficult to cover black. But once I get this covered, and you can see how I'm brushing it on, once I get this roof covered, then the paint will go on much easier, and I can maybe use a roller to put it on. But this is what I'm doing. Instead of looking for a leak on my flat roof, I now realize it's really lost its ability to resist water and become like a sponge. I am painting the entire roof. I'm not bothering to look for a leak point because now I know what the problem is. The paper is worn out as far as the water resistance goes. So this is my solution to stopping the leak on my roof. Paint the whole flat roof. And once I get this first coat on, then the next coats will go on much easier with a roller.